Hi everybody, this is Stefanie Eris. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Today we're going to do a nice easy floor flow. So if you'd like to warm up a little bit more, feel free to take any of my other videos, particularly the open flows and any of the fire classes with Lauren Harris if you'd like to warm up and create some heat before you go a little deeper here with me today. So enjoy. Take a moment to settle in, find a comfortable seat. Soften your eyes. Begin to notice your breath. Let your breath be the guide to help you tune into what you feel, what you're thinking, and what you need from your practice today. Join your palms in prayer. Bow your lips towards your fingertips. Set your intention or dedication. Breathe. Flutter, open your eyes. Open your palms. And start to circle that prayer a little bit. For a more full version of a warm-up, you can check out my warm-up videos. We'll get all of your joints nice and gooey and get you nice and warmed up before you start to jump around for a more heated practice. Slide your hands to your knees and circle the spine. But for now, just like a nice, general, easy warm-up. Get your spine nice and loose. Stir from your belly. Right, let this be just a sensory experience to get you out of your head and into what you feel in the moment. And then circle the other way. You can move as fast or as slow as feels comfortable for you. As long as you're breathing and aware of your movements, you're doing it right. Roll your way up to sit. Again, like I said, you could do a longer warm-up, but for now, I'm just going to take it right to an all-fours position. Wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. Get the spine a little warmer. Tip the tail up and roll the back band up the spine until your chest expands. As you exhale, tuck the tail round the spine so you can feel the release, complete release of your neck up to the top of the head. A couple more rounds like this. Eventually, you'll tuck your toes, lift your knees, and make your way to a downward facing dog. Feel free to pedal around for your feet. Take a breath. Lift your right foot up behind you. Bend that knee and open up your hip. Extend the leg. Take an inhale. As you exhale, slide your right knee behind your right wrist and swing your foot out to the left a little bit. You'll point your back toes, drop the back knee, and slide your back leg behind you for a pigeon pose. So you want to have your front knee a little bit to the outside of your pelvis. And think of rolling this back hip forward to square. You can always slide a block underneath you, or you can slide a blanket underneath your pelvis to give yourself a little bit of support. Just the littlest bit helps. I like to keep my toes alive, but relax the ankle a little bit. Now walk your fingers back on the heart. Take an inhale. As you exhale, pour forward without moving your hands just yet. 2 more like this. Roll up with your inhale. And then exhale, pour forward. 1 more time. As you exhale, this time you can walk your hands forward. You might drop your elbows towards the floor. You might even put a block underneath your forehead. If you feel comfortable, outstretch your arms and fold your chest all the way down towards the floor. It's really easy to just kind of plop into your outer hip of the front hip. Think of rolling yourself more towards center in this very asymmetrical pose. You can even can think of wrapping your knees energetically towards each other. So again, you're not just plopping, but there's a little bit of engagement and support. Take your time to walk your hands back. Lift up your chest. If you have props underneath you can move them out of the way. If you needed a blanket on this side, you probably need it on the other side too, so you can leave that for now. Plant your palms, tuck your toes, lift that knee, step over that blanket and back to your down dog. Feel free to pedal through your feet, vinyasa your way through something if you'd like. I'm keeping it super easy today. As you're ready, lift your left foot up. Bend that knee and open up the hip. Extend the legs, square it off, and then slide your left knee behind your left wrist. Drop the back knee, glide everything back. Take your time to prop yourself up. Square the back hip forward, lift your chest and inhale. Exhale, bow forward. 2 more. One more time. Again, you can drop to your elbows, walk your hands forward. I'm going to put a block underneath my head to keep things a little more rounded, a little bit more supported. Take your time and walk your hands underneath your shoulders. Press yourself up to sit. This time, swing your back leg forward and step it to the outside of your front thigh. You can slide your blanket out from underneath you if you're on one. So the right foot steps to the outside of the left thigh. Ground your right sits bone to the floor. And if that's not happening, you can always straighten your bottom leg forward, and that'll help you keep a longer spine. Tense your right fingers behind you. You can wrap your left elbow around your knee. Sit up long and tall with your inhale, and then exhale, twist from your belly. As you're ready, spin back to center. Counter twist the other way. You can always drop your elbows to the floor and fold forward. Climb yourself back up to center. Hands behind you so you can change the crossing of your left leg in front. Round your left sits bone. Tent your fingers behind the back. Wrap your elbow around your knee, sit up tall, breathe in. Spin from the belly, breathe out. Even in these poses where we're kind of holding them or hanging out in them for a little longer, that doesn't mean there's not dynamic movement and fluctuation with the breath. Breathe in, grow tall. Breathe out, maybe just a tick deeper. Back to center as you inhale. Counter twist to the right, and again you might bow yourself forward. That felt right to you. As you're ready, spin back to center. You're going to take your left leg and kick it all the way out to the back of your mat so that your right foot finds the inner left thigh. If this is a lot for your extended hamstrings, you can always bend your knee, flex your foot, and that'll help you sit up taller. Again, both sits bones on the floor. Take your left forearm to your left thigh, your right hand to your right thigh, And before we go anywhere deeper, just press that thigh away. Think of creating space between your ribs and your pelvis. And then sweep your right arm in front of your chest, all the way up over your head. Get long, long, long. And eventually you might be able to push off your thigh and get a little bit more of a spin open. Again, you can do this with a bent knee. Just press off your opposite thigh. If you're feeling like you may like to take it deeper, drop your elbow to the inside of your knee. As you're ready, climb your way all the way back up to sit. And change sides. Bend your left knee, extend the right leg out. Get tall, long, adjusted. Forearm to your thigh to start. Press into your opposite thigh and just tilt away. Eventually, sweep that left arm across your chest and overhead. Twist from the underside of your right belly across the ribs. You might even drip your elbow to the inside of your shin. If you can keep this left sits bone grounded, you might be able to take this arm all the way up and over and catch the foot. But if you notice that it tends to round the spine and kind of crowd you, then I would say find that length and spin, open chest first, and eventually you'll take it all the way to the depths of it, okay? Take another breath wherever you are. And then climb your way back up to sit. Bring the soles of the feet together. Flex the feet, tent up to your fingertips. I like to scooch in a little closer. If you notice that as you try to open the knees, your knees are up to your shoulders and you're rounding your spine, it tends to be because your pelvis needs a little bit of a prop. Even if you're rather flexible, it's always nice to prop yourself up as well. It gives you a little bit more space to maneuver. So sit up on a blanket if you'd like. Bring the pinky toe sides of your feet together. Flex your feet and spread your toes a lot so that you can feel the big toe splay out and down towards the floor. It's really active. And eventually you might begin to hinge forward. Do your best not to hinge or round or flex from your spine. Hinge from your hips. Now, if your hips are low and your knees are high, it's going to be really hard to find that tip of the pelvis. So prop up and tilt forward. Promise, one day, not saying you're going to get to the floor, but you'll get the sensation of spine long, hips tilt. And that's where the movement maybe will start to expand, deepen. With every breath, get long. With every breath out, get a little softer or deeper. Eventually your elbows might find the floor. You might even slide a block underneath your forehead. Be here for another few breaths. We're not looking for the deepest stretch of your life, just an interesting sensation, a little bit of action, a lot of awareness, a lot of compassion for yourself. Take your time. Find your way back up to sit as you're ready. Move your props. Extend your legs out in front of you. I'm going to slide off of my blanket and spin back to the side. So extend your legs out in front of you. You can tent up onto your fingertips and get yourself seated nice and tall, just like we did in that Baddha with the knees out to the sides. We here also want to get up onto the sits bones. You can always bend the knees if you need to. Eventually, you might start to creep forward and catch your shins or catch your ankles. We're going to rock side to side and plug the thigh bone to the back, back, back into the socket. So you get that same pelvis tilt that we were talking about. Holding onto your shins, your ankles, your feet, or even a strap. Roll long as you inhale. And fold from your hip creases as you exhale. And take your time, Paschimottanasana. I always find that this pose takes some patience. You know, you're not going to get right to the depths of it right away. So focus on the length, focus on the breath. And even if you don't get there today, think of getting as long as possible in the back side of your entire body. The goal is not nose to knees, right? The goal is length, length, length. I'm going to stay right here. Right? Because I set that boundary for myself and I respected it, my body was like, sink a little deeper. You take your time to roll yourself all the way back up to sit. Find a block. If you don't have a block at home, you can always grab a couple of pillows, you can grab a couch cushion, even a pillow or two would be really helpful from your bed. And go ahead and lie down on your back. Grab your prop. If you have a low ponytail, it's a detail, but you might want to take it out so that your ponytail isn't pressing into your neck with your head and neck on the floor. And then lift up your pelvis and slide your block underneath the back wall of your pelvis for a supported bridge pose. There's a fused portion of your spine just above the tip of your tail and below the curve of your lower back. You should feel like, oh my goodness, the block was made for me. You can be on this middle setting like me. You might drop to the lower setting, or you might lift it all the way up to the high setting if you're feeling a little bit more open. So it's a really nice release for the front of the hips and allows the head to be below the heart. Feel free to drop your arms by your sides. Sometimes if I'm looking for more space in my rib cage, I like to catch opposite elbow behind me. Soften your eyes. It's also a really lovely pose to get the abdomen open, to give you space to breathe a bit more deeply. Notice the rise and the fall of your belly as you breathe. Any thoughts floating by? Any worries, judgments? Notice them. And guide yourself back to the sensation you feel in your body. Roll yourself back down to the floor. Hug your knees into your chest. You can open your knees wide and trace a few big circles with your knees. And plant your feet. Open your arms. Shift your hips to the right. Drop your knees to the left. Stack your shins and pull your knees up a bit. And allow your right shoulder blade to melt to the floor in opposition to your knees falling to the earth the other way. Let go of your effort. Control if you can. Enjoy the weight of your body falling deeper into the support of the ground beneath you. Walk your feet back to center. Square your hips. And then shift your hips over to the left. Drop your knees to the right. Stack your shins and pull your knees up. Allow your left shoulder to drop to the floor behind you. Notice where you feel your breath with ease, where there's maybe some restriction. Drop your feet back to center. Center your pelvis. Relax your arms by your sides with the palms open. Tuck your shoulder blades underneath you. Lengthen the back of the neck. Lengthen your tail. You can keep your feet planted or extend the legs out in front of you for your Shavasana. If Shavasana is not what feels right for you, you can stay here in this constructive rest pose, or feel free to roll up to sit and close your practice with meditation. Wherever you find yourself, can you give yourself this final moment to pause, absorb what you've just done. Let the earth take your weight and burden yourself, even if it's just for this final moment of your practice. Feel free to stay here as long as you like. Namaste. Thank you so much.